Good evening, everyone, and I'm back. Hope I don't get cut off. But anyway, before I get started, this is ARK, A Rose Knows About Reality with Ruby Red, Uncut. I would like to thank all of my new subscribers and for all of those that are continuing to send me things. I really appreciate that. Also, I would like to state that some of you guys have shared that you want to hear about my childhood in regards to my biological mom, how we got separated. Also, friends that have betrayed me. And lastly, false prison love. I promise you I will get to that. But as of now, I am going to share a message that I feel is vital important. All right, so also, good news, I'm doing well in school. I'm so proud of myself in all of my classes, but I actually have a perfect score in a class that I thought would be extremely difficult, and that's political science. I never liked science, never cared for politics, but yet I have a perfect score. Midterms are coming up. I hope I can maintain that A, okay? Because, we'll see. All right, so this subject is on take accountability, okay? Now, I know that's a extremely difficult thing for most people to do. However, it is not difficult for me. And I am not trying to sound vain or, like I'm better than anyone. Hey, we all have our own struggles. But what I'm merely stating is that accountability is not a struggle of mine. So what I would like to say is that when you decide to take accountability, I would say, don't you feel better than if you continue to fake the funk, put up a facade, lie, or, make up stories, whatever it is? I would say taking accountability is very important. Um, One of the things that I feel is difficult for people to take accountability is that they have a fear of stepping outside of their false image that they have portrayed onto others, or they may feel that others may have this positive view of them, so they don't want to step outside of that and change it up, or to even be willing to admit that they have caused harm or that they have done something that was considered to be pretty major in a negative way. um, but what they fail to realize is that once you take that accountability, it is no longer on your conscience. And and this even goes for people who don't have a conscience, because here's the thing: everybody has some type of feelings. I don't care what kind of person they are, and if they done something that was pretty major in the terms of hurting someone, oh yeah, when they're all alone and they're trying to sleep, yeah, those thoughts are gonna come, and there's not gonna be anything they can do. Some people, they resort to drinking, getting high, partying, getting effed, whatever the case is, to try to keep themselves from accepting reality and taking that full accountability. So they use those things as a scapegoat. Um, so what I'm gonna share is that um, when a person continues to escape that accountability, what they fail to realize is that the saying is that all that goes on in the dark comes out to the light. What goes on in the wash will come out in the rinse. And so, just blatantly saying that the truth will suddenly be revealed. Yeah, so a person can feel that they're concealing, they're camouflaging, they're whatever it is that they're doing to try to keep from accepting that accountability. But at some point, they're not going to have a choice but to accept that. I'm going to share a brief experience about myself, because I'm one of those people that's listed in my description box when it comes to having that serious authenticity about myself. Yeah, I take full accountability for things that most wouldn't. Okay, so in in alignment with the memoir that I've written, I did something really horrible, and I had no problems taking full accountability for it. I never once tried to hide it. I never once tried to run away. Once the police came with those handcuffs, hey, I readily took my punishment. And I'm not going to go into any description about what it was and all of that, because hopefully you guys can read about it if you choose to. Um, but was it easy? No. Taking accountability is never going to be easy. But I knew that if I chose to do otherwise, nothing good was going to come out of it. And I'm one of those people that I don't want to look over my shoulder. You know, you guys may not have a problem with it, but I do. I don't want to live the rest of my life wondering if someone's going to say something, someone's going to do something, or, you know, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. No, I'm going to resolve that before it even gets started. And that's just the way I am. I'm going to also share the example of, hey, if you did it, you did it. If you didn't, you didn't. Like, what is so hard about accepting whether or not you did or did something and telling the truth about it? So it's like, okay, someone got some food in the refrigerator and they had in mind to take that for lunch. Well, when it comes to maybe a child or children, they may, you know, pretend that they don't know what's going on. They'll play dumb, right? Or they'll lie about it. But when it comes to an adult, yeah, they may actually go ahead and state the truth and say they did it. Um, but then with some adults, those who don't want to take accountability for absolutely nothing, they're not going to admit that they took that food. Hell no. They're going to be like, not I said the cat, not I said the dog, not I said the bird. They're not going to accept that accountability. So the person is looking in the refrigerator looking for the food that was left over so that they could take it to lunch with them. I mean, they could take it to work with them so they can have it for lunch, but then they don't have it. So that's going to be like almost like World War One, two, three, right? Okay, so let me say this. When a person, years have gone by and they still don't want to accept accountability. Okay, let's say like they have a child or children that they've never been there for. And they're always blaming a baby mama, or they're blaming this person or that person, or they're blaming the state that, you know, the children have moved to. They just never accept that it was them, that it was their fault, that they decided to F up. They decided not to be there. Um, it could be, it's so many examples that will go, that I mean, that's in regard to refusing to take accountability for oneself. All a person needs to do is to tell the truth. I mean, things will go so much better, even if it's so hard and hurtful. You could be like, you know what? I just didn't give a F. I wasn't there. I was young and silly, whatever. Now I would like to be there. But the egotistical pride, the arrogance, the overall just being honorary, that gets in some people's way as to why they don't want to take accountability. But what they don't realize is that they're hurting themselves. Now, I would say that it is so much better when you have that clear conscience, when you can actually fall asleep at night and not have to worry about anything, when you have wiped the slate clear, when you have always been that honest person, where no one had to question anything about you. Because when you take full accountability, people respect you, people trust you, and you can't go wrong with that. I'm gonna share one last example about myself. I was a person that was known to take full accountability, so tough that when my children were removed from my custody the second time, the social workers, the attorneys, everybody, they all trusted me enough to watch my husband. And what I mean by that, when he was going through his sobriety issues, they nominated me to be the supervisor. Yeah, it sounds very strange. I couldn't believe it either, but that lasted for a whole year until he got himself together and he no longer needed to be supervised like that. So take full accountability, because you cannot go wrong. And always remember, whether you take accountability or not, the truth is going to be revealed anyway. All right, so I hope that I shared a good message. I'm sorry, I'm kind of distracted because my time is short. There's a lot going on around me. But hey, please take full accountability for your actions. You will feel so much better. and you will gain respect from others. All right, until next time, ARK, A Rose Knows, a raw reality will be read, uncut. See you in the next video.